Hi, I'm Nadia Dunn. Welcome to CCL TV. TV made by the industry for the industry. But who are CCL? Well, CCL are an independent and neutral third-party logistics service provider and custom clearance specialist. From e-concept to e-logistics for e-commerce, CCL has the e-solution. Now, joining me today, we have Amelia from our CCL team. Amelia, thank you so much for being here. And we have the wonderful Sebastian from Servientrega. Thank you so much for being here. How are you, Sebastian?
Doing great, Nadia. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Now, before we get started, could you give us a bit of background on yourself? It's really lovely to have you here. If you just tell us a bit about yourself and the company.
Definitely, sure. So, I'll go right ahead. I studied economics as my bachelor's degree, and I started working for a commercial airline in Colombia right after graduation. I joined the strategy department, which gave me a really nice sense of the alignment between the company's strategy and its execution to meet customer needs without affecting service quality. I remember working very hard to develop the airline's network, and sometimes that network was affected by many variables related to the airline's operation, and that sometimes reflected badly on the companies as a whole. Then I joined the commercial department. I was responsible to lead a team to achieve the budget sales goal defined by the leisure segment. After 5 years in the airline industry, I started an MBA program in Boston, where I met people from many countries around the world. And in the program, we were about 200 students and probably 60 different nationalities. That gave me a wider perspective on the work methodologies, more tools and better ways to create synergies. And later on, I joined Servientrega, which is as well a 3PL company, specialized in freight forwarding, custom clearance, and last mile in Colombia, Panama, Peru, Ecuador, and a couple more countries in Latin America.
And you've been there now, gaining more and more experience and taking it around the world.
Definitely.
Now, tell us, what are the main, the specific experiences from your background that you bring to your role with Servientrega?
So after finishing the MBA, I was really interested in joining the supply chain industry because of the fast pace growing it has globally, and especially in Latin America. Well, I applied and got selected for Servientrega, which was one of my top goals. It's the largest logistics supply chain company in Colombia with the greatest coverage. As I said, we operate in Colombia, Panama, Peru, and Ecuador. And this year, Servientrega is about to turn 40 years in the market. And of course, that comes with plenty of experience to offer solutions to all sorts of people and companies. We can handle large volumes of documents, parcels. We do fulfillment for e-commerce. We offer solutions such as collect on delivery, due to delivery and paid when needed. So to sum up, Servientrega is all about offering solutions to well-known problems as well as last-minute demands for people and corporations.
Well, I'm presuming that the solutions that you are offering companies had to change due to the pandemic. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, definitely. Well, due to the pandemic, people probably started getting more into e-commerce. People probably accessed e-commerce or like online binds a lot more than they used to do it before. And we had to grow along with that trend. So we received a larger volume of parcels coming into Colombia, Panama, Ecuador, Peru, Brazil, some other countries in South America, and we have to develop faster processes in order to supply those demands for customers around the world.
And we recently met at the conference in Miami, the WMX Americas conference. Tell us about your experience there and what it does for Servientrega.
So for me, that was the first time that I attended this conference. I was really surprised by the number of opportunities that this convention can create if you actually connect with potential partners. I had a chance to talk to some possible suppliers and customers from around the world. and that definitely aligns strongly with Servientrega's current strategy, which is expanding our business here in the US, as well as maintain what we do, but what we do very well in South America, which is custom clearance and last mile. So we are creating opportunities for partners looking for logistic solutions in the US and Latin America as well. Well, now, for example, thanks to some connections we built at the WMX, we are able to reach Brazil, which is a huge market for e-commerce, and that of course gave us a wider variety of opportunities to reach more markets or to serve more markets in different continents.
So Sebastian, how important are those conferences to you and the company? And do you have any more this year that you're going to be attending?
So, well, as I said before, we are now aware, or at least I am, because that's the first time that I attended, of like how many different relationships you're able to create. And that, of course, helps Servientrega and other companies to provide more services and to reach more markets. So definitely we'll be attending to more conference. I know next week, for example, I'll be going with a couple of partners, co-workers to Atlanta, to another conference in order to meet more suppliers, so that we are able to grow at a faster pace in order to provide all our services and meet our customer demands.
Great. And now, Amelia, as I said, thank you so much for being here today. I know you wanted to speak to Sebastian about the future of e-commerce.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Nadia. Yeah, you mentioned, Sebastian, like now you Servientrega is in Brazil and nowadays, and you are develop like new strategies in the country. But I just wondering, what are your thoughts on the future of e-commerce, and what are the particular trends you are seeing in South America market?
So I think the e-commerce will continue to increase its sales as it has done it for the past years. I think globally we've seen an increased rate growth for about 20%, if I'm not mistaken, or plus every year. And that trend will probably stay as long as companies like Servientrega are able to respond to what the market demands. I think people are now buying online more than they used to. And they're also used to receive those purchases within a couple of days, if not in the same day. So as long as we can keep up with what the market expects from us, which is basically being effective in every step of the logistic chain, I think e-commerce will continue to increase. For example, in Latin America, people are now getting more access to bank products, such as credit cards, which makes even easier for them to access e-commerce platforms, and that gives them the opportunity to purchase online, and that's where we enter in that process. To give you a more tangible number, in Colombia, approximately 30% of the population have access to bank products, only 30%. That number is increasing year by year. The more people have access to bank products, the more people will access e-commerce platforms, and definitely will be able to reach that market.
Thank you, Amelia, and thank you, Sebastian. Now, could you tell us, Sebastian, a bit about the main opportunities and the challenges that face logistics and supply chain companies that Servientrega can offer solutions for, or that companies can come to you to get help?
Of course. So well, right now, I'd say one of the biggest challenges we face is being able to offer a standardized, like homogeneous product in every country we offer a service, because nowadays clients and corporations demand for solutions, and they want their business to be handled from the pickup to last mile. And in some cases, due to the variety of reasons in each country, that's not necessarily possible. The delivery time can vary. Prices for sure are going to be different. For example, taxes and duties in every single country we operate, Colombia, Panama, Peru, Ecuador, Brazil, are very, very different, and that changes the entire process. So even if you can offer the same service, those variations within the same service can be a little bit inconvenient. But at the same time, we have a very vast experience dealing with that challenge in each country. And I think that gives us an opportunity to reach more clients and like offer our solutions in those markets.
And can you tell us about your short to long term strategy goals for Servientrega?
I would say, as I have explained before, we are a very well-established company in South America, and we intend to continue leading in those markets. So that will be our short-term strategy to remain as a really strong player in those countries. However, our goal now is to increase our operation overseas. As our logo reads, we are Servientrega Mundo de Soluciones, which translate to World of Solutions. And that means that we are committed to expand our portfolio of services in the US as well as other countries in the continent, and hopefully reach other markets in the near future. We are looking into Europe, for example. If you look, Spain has a really large Latin American community, and that of course represents a huge opportunity for us.
An even bigger world of solutions, right?
Even bigger, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Amelia, I know you had another question for Sebastian.
Yeah, Nadia, but actually I have two questions. But the first one is, Sebastian, is about what do you think is any effects the custom restrictions on every single country in South America make for the import in those specific countries? For example, if you want to send like 100 packages, let's say to Brazil, is the custom restrictions really affecting the time, the transit time, and the service?
Yeah, well, definitely. The volume affects, of course, the delivery time of, for example. But well, as I was saying before, as every country, and well, here specifically in Brazil, you have a restriction on the declared value of each parcel you send. So, for example, if the declared value of a parcel is below $50, you don't have to pay taxes. So that's going to be that process a lot easier and faster for us to deliver to any customer. But if that parcel is valued over $50, that's where customs enter in the picture, and that's going to make the process a bit slower, because now we'll have to contact the client will have to pay the tax, and once the tax is paid, we'll be able to deliver that parcel. So yeah, customs are very, very restrictive in some cases.
Okay, that's great. But I assume Servientrega has strategies to obviously face all those issues. Thank you very much, Sebastian. And the last question from my side is about what are your B2B global e-commerce sustainability challenges? And does this topic affect at some point Servientrega?
As corporation, sustainability, of course, is something that we look into very closely. I could tell you right now in Colombia, Servientrega has at least 4 fronts to tackle down some social issues, such as reforestation. So last year, for example, a company teamed up with some foundations and planted over 100,000 trees in some forests. Recycling as well, offering drinking water to communities that have not been able to have that service, and also mitigate our carbon footprint. Here in the US, we are committed to switch our fleet into electric vehicles by next year, and hopefully we'll do the same in Latin America in the next couple of years.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Sebastian.
Yeah, that's really, really positive to hear, and hopefully that will just continue to grow. Now, Sebastian, can you tell us a bit about your thoughts on the CCL TV platform and how you think it can help Servientrega?
I was really surprised and happy when I found out about CCL TV, because I'm sure that platforms such as this one can help companies like Servientrega to come closer in a much easier and faster way to more suppliers and customers. I think it helps your company to connect to many others that probably are looking into services that you already provide, but nobody knows about the presence or the existence of your company due to communication barriers or geographical reasons. I think thanks to CCL TV or like platforms like CCL TV, you get to know that sort of product from companies like us. And yeah, I mean, I think that helps to present what we do and how we do it.
Excellent. And obviously, if you ever have any news or want to collaborate, then please do get in touch. And any breaking news, always come to us first, and we'll let everyone know here.
Definitely.
Now, finally, Sebastian, now this is a question that we ask everyone that appears on CCL TV that we have an interview with. We'd like to know, if you were stranded on a desert island and there was a book or a piece of music that you couldn't live without, what would it be?
It's a much easier question. I don't know. So I don't think I've ever read a book twice. So I'm not gonna pick a book, like just one book. I will tell you the kind of genre that I like. So I'll definitely take some kind of like thriller book with me. I recently came across a saga of books written by J.K. Rowling with a pseudonym. So she's not J.K. Rowling. He's actually Robert Galbraith. And the book is about this detective, which is Cormoran Strike. And I think it's like about 7 books. That's definitely what I'll take with me to keep me entertained.
Oh, wow. And you get 7 books rolled into one. So yeah, that's one to put on the to read list. So thank you so much for joining us, Sebastian. It's been lovely to have you. And Amelia, thank you for being here too. Great to see you both. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. And remember that CCL are much more than packages.